CITO CounterControl is a measuring device for measuring creasing channels in creasing matrices. Now for the first time, with CITO CounterControl, the geometry of the creasing channels in the creasing matrices can be measured, and then monitored during production, so that production can be adjusted accordingly. By using CITO CounterControl, the dimensional accuracy of creasing channels can be demonstrated to the customer. CITO CounterControl is a mobile camera-based measuring device that uses special software for measuring creasing channels. A camera is built into the hardware of the CITO CounterControl measuring device, which takes images of the test item and transmits these to the software. The software subsequently automatically takes over analysis of the image and shows the values on the screen of a Windows-based computer. A Windows tablet can also be used, of course. Where do the benefits of CITO CounterControl lie? Up until now, automatic measuring systems for checking milled creasing channels have not been available on the market. With CITO CounterControl, quality standards can be defined and tested during production, for the first time. This quality standard can be recorded and added to the client's orders. The vertical measuring position of the measuring width can be specified in the CITO CounterControl software. This ensures that milling angles at both edges of the opening do not result in measuring errors. Measuring errors are eliminated due to the repeatable measuring precision of CITO CounterControl. This reduces costs in the production process and gives the user a high degree of process reliability. The measuring accuracy is independent of the operator. CITO CounterControl can also be used in press rooms. It can establish anywhere on Pertinax matrices, and thus avoid machine downtime in advance. So, how does CITO CounterControl work in practice? Basic settings. First, select the basic software settings. Choose the language you want to work in. In the next tab, set the measuring unit and the number of decimal places required. In the input field to the left of the graphic, enter the height at which the width of the creasing channel is to be measured. This value specifies the distance of the measuring point from the upper edge of the test sample. In the To check boxes, on the right-hand side, select whether the calculation of the radius and angle is to be executed out and displayed in the report. On the third page you can store a company logo and company details. Via the next two windows, you can select the display type for the analysis window in the report. The image, or the inverted image, can be accessed here, with the option of saving ink or toner, for example, when printing out the report. And last but not least, you can also select whether the measuring height should be specified in the report. Measuring and report creation. To carry out a measurement process, click on Preview. This activates the live camera image. The guidelines given must not necessarily be aligned at the center of the channel. CITO CounterControl has an edge guide along its bottom edge that can be pushed as far as the stop position on the outer edge of the creasing channel. This guarantees that the measuring device is parallel to the creasing channel that is to be measured. Following this, an image can be taken via the shutter release button located on the measuring device, or by activating the image symbol in the software. The width, the depth and, in the case of channels not formed as a right angle, the radius or angle is also automatically calculated and displayed. To transfer these measurement values into a report, select the relevant orientations in accordance with the measuring processes. The options are: across the grain, along the grain, diagonal. The order description can be entered in the window above the orientation symbols. When all the measurements have been taken and the orientations are assigned, the report can be issued. CITO CounterControl is a tested measuring device. Validity of initial calibration. 2 years from date of manufacture. A test master is supplied with every measuring device. The measurements values are attached to the test master. The user can test the device at any time by referring to these nominal values. You will see how this works afterwards. The CITO CounterControl measuring device can be recalibrated after 2 years. The testing procedure is started in the software under Device Testing. The values shown on the test master are tested against the pre-completed values and entered if applicable. The test master is then checked against the CITO CounterControl measuring device. If the values agree, the testing can be documented by means of a certificate. CCC. CITO CounterControl. So don't guess, measure,